Good evening and welcome to Primetime News on TV1. For the news team, I'm Mazra Hassan. Let's start off with a look at your headlines for this evening.
Adverse weather impacts over 51,000 people. Landslide warnings issued in 6 districts still in effect. A group of social media activists convene under the patronage of the Prime Minister.
අපිට බාර දීලා තියෙන භාණ්ඩාගාරය නම් හිස් භාණ්ඩාගාරයක්. රටට ඌලන්න බැරි තත්වෙටම මංගලොත් කරලා ගිහිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
අපි ලෑස්ති වෙන්න ඕන අපේ ඊළඟ අභියෝගය මුහුණ දීලා ජයග්‍රහණය කරලා අපේ පාර්ලිමේන්තු මන්ත්‍රී කණ්ඩායම රැකගන්න.
Protests continue in India. PM Modi defends citizenship bill amid clashes.
This season is all about celebration and festivities. To bring the first-hand experience of these celebrations to our viewers, we here at Newsfirst have organized 2 Christmas zones in 2 separate locations in Colombo. First, let's cross over to David Paldano, who is at the Newsfirst Christmas zone at the Echelon Square in Colombo. David, what is happening there?
Now, as the viewers can see behind me, our Christmas zone that we have set up here in Echelon Square is at full swing with live music and families from all over Colombo flocking here to enjoy the festivities that we have set up here. Now the music here is on full swing and the citizens here are actually enjoying everything that is going on here. Now that's all we are having at the update from here. Now it's back to you, Azra.
Thank you, David. We then have Muad Razik at the Sirsa Christmas zone at the MTV MBC premises here in Colombo too. Muad, how is it going there?
Yes, we are coming to live and direct from the Newsfirst, the Sirsa Christmas zone here down Braybrook Street in Colombo too. Now this is the final day of the Sirsa Christmas zone here at Braybrook Street, opposite the head office premises of the Capital Maharaj Organisation Limited. Now this is a place filled with many activities, live musical shows as well as snow cities for the kids and many fun-filled activities for your family and friends to enjoy this year's Christmas.
Thank you, Muad and David, for bringing us those live updates. Let's now take a look at those stories in detail. On to some weather-related news. Now, the Department of Meteorology said that the districts of Anuradhapura, Polonnaruwa, Trincomalee and Vavuniya will receive a rainfall of between 150 to 200 millimeters. Rainfall between 100 and 150 millimeters could be experienced in the western Sabaragamu and Nuwa provinces and in the Batiklo, Ampara, Nuwara, Matale, Puttlam and Mana districts.
With the opening of 22 spill gates of the Rajangane reservoir, the Kanua 10 village of the Rajangane 5 region was flooded since last evening. Although certain families residing in the village had evacuated to safe locations, 250 people from 90 families remained trapped in the village since this afternoon. According to our correspondent, the villagers had moved to higher grounds today. The Navy conducted an operation last night to rescue 20 people stuck in their houses in the Hurigaswever village. Their village was flooded after the spill gates of the Kalawever were opened. The rescue operation lasted for about 2 hours. The rescued residents are currently being sheltered at the Meegallawa Community Hall in Hurigaswever. The road from Galnawa to Eppaval was flooded in the Amunugama Halmilawa area after the Kalawever overflowed. According to our correspondent, many houses as well as farmlands have been inundated. The Kalawever is receiving 16,000 cubic feet of water per second from the catchment areas in Ibbankatua and Dambulu Oya, and the Kala Oya is receiving 24,000 cubic feet of water per second from the Kalawever. The Puttlam district has been the worst hit region by the inclement weather conditions. Chaibima in Chilao and a number of other areas have been flooded after the Dadru Oya overflowed.
Right now I'm in the Tabbo water dam, which is the biggest water dam in the Puttlam district. As you can see behind me that nearly 10 doors out of 20 doors in this water dam have been opened because of the recent floodings. According to the reports sent out by the Disaster Management Center, more than 6,218 people and 1,717 families have been affected by these recent floodings.
The Puttlam-Anuradhapura main road was inundated from last morning till this evening. 2,731 people from 776 families in the Polonnaruwa district have been affected by the inclement weather. All 10 spill gates of the Parakrama Samudra remain open and 1,900 cubic feet of water is being released through it per second. The historic Somavatiya sacred site was flooded after the Mahavali river overflowed from Somavatiya. Our correspondent stated that the Chetiya Maluwa is 3 feet underwater, while the surrounding region is flooded by about 10 feet of water. A thick layer of mist covered the Polonnaruwa Bakamuna road across Attana Kadavala. Six spill gates of the Veheragala reservoir built across the Manik river has been opened by 3 feet each. The Dunghinda entry road, which was closed down for the past 2 days due to heavy rains in the Badulla district, was reopened today. Our correspondent said that the road was closed down due to risk of landslide and collapsing trees. Landslides have occurred in certain areas between Bibila and Lunugala along the Bibila-Badulla main road. This is how a section of the Bibila bridge that was constructed in 1818 had been damaged. Many houses have also been damaged due to the overflowing of the Galloya in Bibila. 13 teams from the Navy have been deployed for relief operations in areas affected by the floods. The Navy stated that 15 small vessels have also been deployed. These teams have been deployed as per the advice of the Navy commander to areas including Navagattegama, Saliyawava, Eluwankulama, Polonnaruwa, Poonani, Kataragama and Panama. Murukkantivu and Saravali areas of the Kiran Divisional Secretariat Division in Batclo were inundated last night. Sri Lanka Navy rescued civilians by boat. 435 people belonging to 3 divisional secretariats have been relocated at the Kinnayadi Saraswati Vidyalaya. Meanwhile, Sittandi and many other areas in Chenkaladi Divisional Secretariat area are still inundated. According to our correspondent, 1,072 people from 327 families have been temporarily relocated at the Sittandi Central College. Due to the heavy rains, many valleys in the Batclo district have exceeded spill level. The bunds of the Mavadi Ode reservoir has become unsafe and the security forces and villagers have worked together by piling up sandbags to strengthen the bund.
The highest rainfall during the 24 hours that ended at 8 this morning was reported from the Eastern Province. We are now joined by Newsfirst Ashwin Vithana, who is in the Eastern Province for an update on the situation in the region.
We are in the Sittandi of Batticaloa district. There are over 1,200 people belonging to 354 families. All these people have been placed at 8 safety locations and flood water level has receded throughout the day, but still there are signs of rain. I'm Ashwin Vithana for News First and stay with us for the latest updates.
Thank you, Ashwin. Meanwhile, Disaster Management Center said that 13 districts have been affected by heavy rains and landslides. 51,146 people of 14,963 families have been affected. Assistant Director of the Disaster Management Center, Pradeep Kodipilli, said that 16,385 people were detained in 126 safe shelters. The affected districts are Badulla, Monoragala, Batticaloa, Ampara, Kandy, Nuwara, Matale, Hambantota, Kurunegala, Puttlam, Kegol, Anuradhapura and Polonnaruwa. On to one of our headline-making stories now. Landslide warnings issued for 6 districts due to heavy rains were extended this afternoon.
The
NBRO extended the landslide warning until 4 next evening. The divisional secretariats in the Matale district, namely Laggala, Pallegama, Yatavatta, Naula, Vilgamuwa, Rattota, and in the Kandy district, Ududumbara and Medadumbara, Valapane in the Nuwara district, Badulla, Bandarawela, Valimada, Haliyala, Uwaparnagama, Alla, Haldumulla, Passara, Lunugala and Haputala in the Badulla district have been issued evacuation red alerts. Level 2 warning has been issued to the divisional secretariats of Amanganga Korale, Ukuwela, Pallepola and Matale in the Matale district, Hanguranketa in the Nuwara district and Badalkumbara, Madagama and Bibile in the Monragala district. Level 1 warning has been issued to the divisional secretariats of Patha, Hewa Hatta in the Kandy district, Nuwara in the Nuwara district, as well as Imbulpe and Balangoda in the Ratnapura district. Moreover, the NBRO requests the general public to be vigilant if there are bunds near the houses or near the road.
අවට පවතින ඛණ්ඩි සහ භාවිත කරන මාර්ග දෙපස පවතින ඛණ්ඩි සම්බන්ධව ඉතා දැඩි සැලකිලිමත් බව පසු වෙනවා.
Now taking a look at some political news now, the Rata Venuwen Api social media activist meeting was held in Talpitiya, Panutura this afternoon.
The meeting was chaired by Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. Many ministers and MPs attended the event.
The United National Party, the group of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party along with Maithripala Sirisena, had handed over to us an empty treasury. They have left the country bankrupt. I must remind you that all of the projects have not followed proper procedure. On the other hand, everything that was done in the previous days was done after taking into due consideration the welfare of the general public. Many people are levelling various allegations against us. I was listening to some of them. Even when someone is taken to the police, they accuse us for it. But nobody looks into why they were arrested. Our people were taken to the police for political reasons. The previous government did certain things to protect their ministers and MPs in the past. Now the law is enforced strictly. It does not matter if it's Mahinda Rajapaksa or someone else. So we strongly believe that they should stop making these foolish allegations against us.
Now you're joining me here at the Echelon Square where our Christmas zone has been set up. Now as you can see, the festivities are in fact in full swing with live music and families from all over Colombo coming here to Echelon Square to enjoy the festivities that we have set up. Now you and your family and loved ones can come join us here at the Echelon Square. We have set everything up for you till the 24th of this month, so don't waste any time. Gather your family and bring them here. Now taking a look at more political news happening here in Sri Lanka, a public meeting was held in Bingire today under the patronage of Sajith Premadasa.
The meeting was organised by UNP parliamentarian Nalin Bandara. Area politicians as well as party faithful attended the event. We have to implement a program targeting the next general election as well as the presidential election. For that you need to be able to see your party headquarters by yourself. If they lock the gates of the headquarters knowing that you will arrive, then you cannot handle the upcoming election. There are people in this party that need to be removed. They are the ones who are rejected by the people and the ones who are tagged as thieves by the general public. If those people are seated in a corner, you cannot steer the party to victory. There should be a democratic platform to elect the leader and officials of the party. We need to live in the hearts of our party supporters, not in the hearts of our leaders. We have to prepare for the next challenge to safeguard our parliamentary group. We are not going to split because of positions. There are many issues and criticisms. We hope to resolve all those issues through internal discussions. As a party, as a front, we have to think anew. We have always been on the side of the country. Certain personal ideologies actually undermine the principles we truly believe in, and other distorted ideas emerge. Political vengeance has increased because of our defeat. Therefore, friends, we must stand up for all those who are victimized by the violence and political revenge. Champika Ranawaka was actively involved in the election campaign. Sajith Premadasa will never forget the dedication of Champika Ranawaka for the presidential election campaign to educate the middle class as well as the Sinhalese Buddhist community.
In more local news now, the Sunday Times reported that government ministers and state institutions, including provincial councils, have been banned from entering into direct agreements or memorandum of understandings with foreign investors, leading agencies, international non-governmental organizations and embassies.
The report read the ban was imposed by the President's office with immediate effect. All concerned have been directed to follow due process in entering into such agreements or MOUs. This include clearance from the Ministry of Foreign Relations, the Finance Ministry, Attorney General and the Central Bank.
Meanwhile, these are the views expressed by State Minister of Export Agriculture Janaka Bandara regarding the future steps of the MCC and the Hambantota port.
MCC gives අපි අහෝසි කරනවා කියලා කිව්වා. ඒ වගේම අපි ඒකට කරුණු කාරණා කිව්වා. මේක එහෙම් පිටින්ම අහෝසි කරන්න කරුණක් හොයා ගන්න ඕන.
නැතුවා දැන් කවර්ට හම්බන්තොට වරාය නැවත පවරාගෙන.
අපි හම්බන්තොට වරාය.
Today is the third and final day of the Sirasa Christmas Zone, which is located in Baybrook Place, Colombo too. As you all can see, there's large crowds gathered here to celebrate this Christmas season at the Sirasa Christmas Zone. We have lined up fun-filled activities, games and also food stalls for you and your family to come and enjoy. As you all know, Christmas is all about celebrating joy and happiness and the birth of Jesus Christ. That is exactly what we are doing here at the Sirasa Christmas Zone. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Ruhaza Irfan.
Thank you, Ruhaza, for bringing us a comprehensive update from the Sirasa Christmas Zone at the head office of the MTV Embassy here in Colombo. Now, in more local news, activists of the Jathika Hello Urumaya convened a media briefing today. Now, the arrest of former Minister Patali Champika Ranawaka was discussed at the briefing.
මෙවර මැතිවරණයේදී සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මැතිතුමාගේ
He made an outstanding contribution to the presidential election campaign of Sajid Premadasa from the New Democratic Front. Even then, he made revelations on the suppression that was taking place and the military juntas that were involved in the suppression. We are heading into tough times. Today they have won and they are now on a campaign to suppress the leading figures in the democratic camp.
මේ ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදී කඳවුරේ කැපිපෙන්න නායකින් මර්ධනය කිරීමේ පියවර පටන් ගෙන තියෙනවා. දැන් මේ එළවපු එක්කෙනා ගැන මහා ලොකුට හොයන්න යන්නේ.
Now they are trying to look into the person who drove the vehicle. Why is that? Does it help Sandeep recover? Does it rectify the mistakes that Sandeep made? No, this 1000cc vehicle can only be registered for sports activities. The Commissioner of Motor Traffic has informed court that these 1000cc vehicles cannot be rode on public roads. Also, the registration documents of the vehicle state that the vehicle can only be used for sports purposes. So, if this vehicle is to be used for sports activities, a carrier must be used to take this vehicle to the racetrack. Now, while the law is such, the owner of this motorbike gives this vehicle to his son to be rode along the public road. This is an act of negligence, and because of this negligence, this accident was caused. Now, once the accident has occurred, what can be done? The vehicle cannot be rode on public roads, so they cannot seek for redress from the law. The motorbike does not have license or insurance. So, even if the child dies, no one can claim for insurance. Even if children on the road are killed, they cannot ask for compensation because there is no insurance. Thirdly, we must find out if Sandeep even had a license to determine as to whether he can claim compensation.
Sandeepට ලයිසන් එකක් තියනවාද කියලා අපි දැනගන්න වෙනවා. එතනදී මොකද මේ අඩුම ගානේ ඉන්ෂුරන්ස් එකක් වක්කත් ගන්න ඕන.
This group also visited the police headquarters and filed a complaint on the legal status of the motorbike that was said to be knocked down by Patali Champika Ranawaka. Meanwhile, a complaint was also filed at the Colombo Crimes Division stating that proper investigations were not conducted into an accident that occurred in 2014. I filed a complaint at the Mirihana police regarding an accident that occurred on the 29th of the 6th month in 2014. A woman had driven a state vehicle owned by a ministry and knocked down a young man and fled the scene. When investigations were conducted on the number plate of the vehicle, it was revealed that the vehicle belonged to the Minister of Agriculture of the Western Provincial Council. The vehicle had been driven at the time by the wife of then Provincial Minister of Agriculture, Udaya Gammanpila. The law has not been enforced on this incident up to date.
Now, once again, you're joining us here from the Echelon Zone, where our Christmas zone is set up here now. Festivities, as I've said before, is in full swing now. Multiple bands have actually joined us there on stage that you can see behind me, performing their own live music, while the audience can stand there and enjoy the music to their fullest extent. Now, you and your family members can in fact come and join us here at any time you want until the 24th of this month. Now, the families from all over Colombo, in fact, are coming here to enjoy the festivities that we have set up here. We have also set up a news center for our two radio channels, Yes 101 and Legends 966, for them to report their news from there as well. Now, that is all we have from the Echelon Zone here. It's back to you, Azra, at the studio.
Thank you, David. Now, the footage, what you just witnessed, was the festivities at the Echelon Square in Colombo. Taking a look at one of our local stories now, various views were expressed regarding the arrest of former Minister Patali Champika Ranawaka.
Partly Champika Ranawaka was a person who spoke honestly. He is a person who was a minister during the previous government and the Mahinda Rajapaksa government. He spoke openly about the corruption and fraud that occurred during that time when he was a minister of the United National Front. I feel that this was done as an act of political revenge.
වෛරී දේශපාලනයක් මෙතන ගොඩනැගී තියෙන බව තමයි මගේ හැඟීම.
දැන් බලන්නකො පාර්ලි චම්පික රණවක මහත්තයා
They are depicting the arrest of Partli Champika as us seeking for political revenge. When I spent 3 months in jail, there was no court case. There was only a B report. The case has been going on for 4 years now. Every day the FCID comes to court and says all the reports have been submitted to the Attorney General's department and we are awaiting for their advice. If the AG's department is to give them advice, they should probably say that there is insufficient evidence to file a case against the accused. So they kept us in prison for 3 months after filing a B report and framing it under the Public Properties Act. Many members of our camp were remanded like this. That was how they interfered in the independence of the judiciary. When they knock down a boy, bend the law and get arrested later on, that is depicted as political revenge.
Partly Champika Ranawaka was one of the most prominent figures among career politicians, so they are trying to halt his progress. This incident occurred in 2016. After that, it was reported that Partli Champika Ranawaka was not a party to this case. The problem that we have is why was this case brought forward after 3 years?
මගේ තියෙන සැකය තමයි ඇයි මේ නඩුව අවුරුදු 3කට පස්සේ ඉස්සරහට
රෑ ගෙවල් වට කරලා We have an issue on why they surrounded his house in the night and arrested him like arresting a thief or an armed man. Are they trying to hunt down the national leaders of the United National Front? We have to also ask if they are trying to hunt down Sinhala Buddhist leaders in view of the upcoming election.
එහෙම නැත්නම් සිංහල බෞද්ධ නායකයන් දඩයන් කරලා පාලුගෙයි වළම් බින්දින්නද ඉදිරි මැතිවරණවලදී කියලා අපිට අහන්න සිද්ධ වෙනවා.
අයියෝ මාවත් අඩංගුවට ගත්තා.
Even I was arrested. I was remanded for 54 days. Even without an order from court, they detained me like that for 54 days. Even when I was arrested, the same speaker was in office. This person is a good friend of mine, but I have a strong enough backbone to stand for what is right.
මෙතුමා මගේ හොඳ මිත්‍රයා. හැබැයි වැරදි දේ වැරදි කියන්න මට හොඳක් තියෙනවා.
They first took revenge from me. They sent the army to raid the former president's office and chased all of the employees there. They put on a false face and seek revenge. I am not saying that if a minister knocks down a man, arresting him is a wrong thing, but what about the murders that were committed? The son of one of their ministers had knocked down a police officer in Borella. And what about those who killed Lasantha Wickrematunge on the street?
I say this to all parliamentarians in the country. Everyone has allegations against them. When you point one finger at another person, there are 4 fingers pointed against you. This country has a cabinet that is full of people who are involved in fraud and corruption, and except 1 or 2 state ministers, the rest are also corrupt.
This accident of Champika Ranawaka is a hit and run incident. Hit and run means that they cause the accident and then flee the scene. If you violate the law like that, you cannot be set free.
We do not see that the arrest and subsequent action against Partli Champika was done according to the proper procedure. There are allegations that this is being done to seek political revenge. The case was taken up based on political influence to seek political revenge.
පදනම් කරගෙන තමයි මේ සිද්ධිය මතු කරලා අරගෙන තියෙන්නේ.
දේශපාලන පසමිතුරන්
Certain political powers are using the police as an arm to suppress the leading political figures in the opposition. They jail national leaders for traffic offences. What they are doing is not good for the country. It is not good for the independence of the police, and since the national commissions are responsible to Parliament, the time has come to look into the conduct of the police, the state services sector and the judiciary.
Minister Mahinda Amaravira was questioned by journalists regarding the Sri Lanka Freedom Party and the Sri Lanka Podujana Peruma joining together.
අපි එකම කණ්ඩායමක් විදිහට එකම ලකුණකින් ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පොදුජන සන්ධානය යටතේ තරම් කරන්න තමයි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ. දැන් ඔබතුමාලගේ පක්ෂයට නොසලකා හැරීමේ තත්ත්වයක් ගම්මට්ටමට එන්නේ නැද්ද? ගම්මට්ටමේ යම් මේ වගේ දේ
We can see that there are certain politicians at the village level who have forgotten what we have done for them. There are several village level politicians who have forgotten this. The President and the Prime Minister are very clear on the sacrifices that the Sri Lanka Freedom Party made. They appreciate it. There is no problem.
කළ කැපකිරීම ඒ පිළිබඳව අගය කිරීමක් තියෙන නිසා අපිට ඒක ප්‍රශ්නයක් බවට පත් වෙනවා.
The minister expressed these views at an event to distribute uniform material to the students of a Dhamma school in Angunakala Palace.
An event was held in Pilimatalawa, Kandy today to express gratitude to those who voted for the victory during the presidential election.
And party supporters of the SLPP Yatinuwara electorate and State Minister of Investment Promotion Kelia Rambukwella participated in the event. If we cannot bring benefits to the village from the government that we brought into power, why do we get involved in politics of this country? There is no point in hating the UNP or JVP supporters. We need a leader. We cannot make this a colony of the Navalapitiya seat. Apparently they have appointed Anand Alutgamage as an organizer. I am not afraid to talk about this, but some people are. We are not scared of pigs. We are not even scared of the devil. Why should there be a party constitution when the SLPP membership is given to a person who is still a member of the United National Party? Can a UNP MP be an organizer of the SLPP under a government of Gotabaya Rajapaksa? We need a person who was born in Yatinuwara. We cannot give this seat to the Anandas or Mahindanandas. We are the ones who worked hard since 2015. We are the heirs of the SLFP. We never betrayed the SLFP, but we had to betray the party because of the Rajapaksas. We do not want the administration of Yatinuwara to be dirty and corrupt. We won't allow wild pigs to be appointed as the organizers of this district. We are not afraid of Mahindananda, Anand Alutgamage or even Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Why should we be afraid? A person who was born here, who knows the pain and sorrow of the people, must be appointed to this position. The people of this region must be able to go to his house and scold him if he does not work for the area. We need a person like that. If anyone says that I have been appointed as an organizer of the Pohot tour, it is a lie. I still haven't been appointed as an organizer of the Pohot tour. I am still from the SLFP. No SLPP organizer has been appointed as yet. But we demarcate certain regions and say this area is yours and this area is mine. But no one has been appointed. If this position has not been given to me or Mahindananda or Lohan Ratwatta or Dilum Amunugama, and if someone else has been appointed as the organizer, we should question this decision at the party convention. We must question as to how this can be done.
Now, the All Ceylon Private Bus Association convened a media briefing in Colombo today.
The president clearly said that he will not make any political appointments to the head of state institutions. He highlighted this fact during his discussions with us and also included this in his manifesto. He also appointed an expert committee to make suggestions on the appointments and inquire into the public opinion. We have made a written submission mentioning the names of 10 individuals. These nominations were made for the appointments to the National Transport Commission, the Ceylon Transport Board and also the provincial transport authorities. Even during the time of Mahinda Rajapaksa, there were 5 corrupt chairmen at the National Transport Commission. We informed this expert committee the names of these corrupt individuals and urged them not to grant appointments to any one of them. However, we are sad to say that a corrupt chairman who was in office during the tenure of Mahinda Rajapaksa is going to be appointed to the National Transport Commission. The people were sick of these corrupt politicians, and that is why we brought Gotabaya Rajapaksa into power. Political appointments have been made to certain provincial transport authorities as well. This is a sad situation. We clearly state that if this continues, we won't be able to reach the goals that we envisioned for the transport sector in this country.
මේ තත්ත්වය ඉදිරියට ගියොත් අපිට ප්‍රවාහන ක්ෂේත්‍රයේ අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙච්ච ඉලක්කයට අපිට යන්න හැකියාවක් වෙනවා.
And that's a wrap of this edition of Primetime News. But before we go, we have David Paldano at the Echelon Square in Colombo. David?
Well, that is also a wrap of Primetime News here on TV1, where we brought you the news live and direct from the Echelon zone, in the Christmas zone that we have set up here in Echelon. Well, that is the wrap of news from here from the Echelon Zone. My name is Devi Paldano. Good night.
Well, thank you, David, but unfortunately, we can't cross over to Mohd Razik, who is at the Silsa Christmas Zone at the MTV Embassy head office premises, as the entertainment activities in the premises are a bit too loud. But we will keep you on the track of the latest developments we have for you. Thank you very much for joining us. For the Newsfirst team, I've been Azra Hassan. Take care and good night.